Can you please tell me what do you understand by this word regression? Anyone? What do you understand by this word regression? In unit 1 was basic. In unit 2 we have covered 2 topics. And opposite of progression? No. No, Ankit. In unit 2 we have covered curve fitting and it is sampling. Sampling is another thing. इसकी बात नहीं करते. Curve fitting. Fine. Now in unit 3 we have studied so far correlation and now we are doing regression. There is another sampling that, yes, returning. You see, in unit 2 we have covered curve fitting. In unit 3 we have so far studied correlation. And now you already know what do you understand by this word correlation. At least you know correlation. What is correlation? Then only I'll proceed to regression. They all are interrelated. Tell me, correlation means? We have studied this in detail. पूरे एक हफ्ते में. Co means two. Yes, Ankit remembered this only. Or Ankit, relationship between two things or two variables. Yes, Rajnani, that's what I meant. Now you see, correlation was telling you about the relationship between any two different variables. अब relationship in the terms of what? Oh, this board जब से update हुआ है ना, ये लिखता नहीं है. Very irritating. Two variables in terms of what? In terms of magnitude or its strength of the variables. आपस में उनका जो भी relation है, linear relation, it is strong or negative, positive or negative, strong or weak, so far. And another it was telling us about the direction of our data. कौन से direction में your data is moving. Fine. This we have studied in correlation. Curve fitting में what you have studied? Curve fitting में we were having a curve like this. Say suppose, so minimum curve which we got, you already know your minimum possible curve is a straight line always. And this is a curve such that most of the data are accumulated near to this. And another, if we have independent data or independent scatter data, this will be more like this. Independent variable. Now you see, when we are getting a straight line, it means my maximum points of the scatter data are accumulated on this straight line. Similarly, if my maximum points are accumulated on this curve, such that it is forming some curve or arc, then this is expressed as this. And if there is no relation between any of the variable, any two variables, such that it's just randomly scattered in the plane, then it is represented in this form, scattered data, where no curve is fitting and it is not giving any meaningful relation between any two variables. Then it is represented like this. So in curve fitting, what we did, whatever scattered data we had, we were trying to interpret some relation in terms of meaningful expression, meaningful, which is going to give us a meaningful mathematical relation. It may be a straight line, it may be a parabola curve, or it may be an exponential curve, positive, negative, whatever. Fine. This we did in curve fitting. What you were trying to do in curve fitting, we were estimating. What you were estimating? We were estimating how these scattered data are related to each other. Fine. Say suppose, for example, Sachin, if you are evaluating or say suppose we have a data of Sachin ki past performances. Fine. So whenever he is playing, you already know whether he is going to score a century or not. Intuition थोड़ी होता है. What you did? We have evaluated his past performances. Then you know whether he is going to achieve a target of 50 runs or 100 runs or not. Say suppose you are organizing some party. Then again you will estimate how many of your guests would be a vegetarian or a non-vegetarian. So you will plan accordingly. कि तुमको किस हिसाब से प्लानिंग करनी है ऑफ योर कुकिंग और योर अरेंजमेंट. Fine. So this is what? This is again a kind of curve fitting where we are visualizing, say suppose we have a data of all the guests and then we are giving a meaningful curve or we are fitting accordingly the data according to our arrangement. So this is what is curve fitting. Now you see your main purpose of curve fitting is what? Estimate. It is estimate. इसका पर्पस है कर्व फिटिंग का. कोरिलेशन का क्या पर्पस है? टू इवैल्यूएट द मैग्नीट्यूड, स्ट्रेंथ एंड डायरेक्शन ऑफ योर डेटा. सब कुछ बहुत सिमिलर है. सो यू शुड हैव अ क्लियर आइडिया ऑफ ईच टर्म एंड इट्स टर्मिनोलॉजी. मैग्नीट्यूड, स्ट्रेंथ एंड डायरेक्शन ऑफ डेटा. दिस इज इवैल्यूएटेड यूजिंग कोरिलेशन. And ये estimate क्या लिख दिया? And curve fitting is what? It is the estimate one variable, estimation of one variable with respect to another variable. Fine. And now कैसे? Because one variable, if two variables are related, अभी तुमने जब कर्व फिटिंग की थी तो कैसा डेटा आ रहा था तुम्हारे पास? कर्व. So we studied four kind of curve. First was a straight line, a plus bx, या ax plus b, whatever. Another was your parabola, so ax square, bx plus c. Third was exponential. Exponential की कई कैटेगरी थी. So I am writing one only for reference. So this would be, say suppose I am writing this. तो क्या समझ में आ रहा है कि you are evaluating the value of this variable y. कैसे? If you have a estimate value of a, b and x, अगर ये तीनों मिल जाते हैं, we can have y. Similarly, if you can have these values, you can have y. Implies what? Implies what? Means we have two variables x and y where your x value is what? Your x variable is a independent variable and your y variable is what? It is a dependent variable because its value is depending on a, b and x. Fine. So your y variable is a dependent variable. So in curve fitting what you are trying to do? We are estimating one variable with respect to the another variable. We are estimating y की value with respect to the x की value से. समझे? So this is what? This is your curve fitting. Fine. Correlation giving you magnitude, direction and the strength of your data. Now, so this is, all these curves in simple terms can be written as this, isn't it? Can we write like this? Y is a function of another variable which is your x. So this function is known as regression function. Alright. And the best fitted curve, and let me write here. The best fitted curve, say suppose a straight line, मान लेते हैं, let it be a straight line, that is y is equals to a plus bx. This is your regression line. Understand? तो regression line तो तुम पहले ही पढ़ चुके हो यूनिट 2 में कर्व फिटिंग में. अभी आगे क्या करेंगे? We'll see that. Now you see the best fitted curve for the given data for your given regression function. We have various regression lines. Fine. Now these regression line can be in the terms of y on x. This is y on x. या फिर x on y. So we can have a regression line both in terms of y on x and x on y. If you have a y on x, so equation would be ऐसी y is equals to a plus bx means your y is a subject, it is depending on the x. But if we have a regression line of x on y, then your equation would be x equals to a plus by. Always remember, very very important term. If whenever you are having a question, you have to see what they are asking a regression line with respect to x or with respect to y. इधर ही confusion होता है. All right. So if you have a y on x, it means your y is a dependent variable. And if it is asking a regression line for the x and y, then your x is a dependent variable. Accordingly, you'll have your regression function. For this, you have a regression function like this. And for this, we will have a regression function as x equals to f of y. Clear till here? Say yes or no, so that I can receive. What method we have used in curve fitting? You remember? During curve fitting, independent means what? अंकित, independent क्या था? अभी देखो y क्या है? y is equals to a plus bx है. a plus bx मतलब y की वैल्यू कब निकलेगी? से सपोज हमारे पास फंक्शन दे रखा है 2 minus 6x. ठीक है, तो तुमको y की वैल्यू चाहिए और तुमको मालूम है कि x की वैल्यू कुछ भी हो सकती है, से सपोज 0, 1 और 3. तो हमारे पास y की कितनी वैल्यू आ जाएंगी? पुट करो. एक बार x की जगह 0 पुट करा तो 2 minus 6 -4. अगेन x की वैल्यू कितनी है? 1 है. दिस वुड बी -4. अभी 3 है. 3 6 18, 18 minus 2 -16. तो हमारे पास कितनी वैल्यू आ गई? तो y की वैल्यू कैसे निकल रही है? जब हमारे पास x की वैल्यू है. सो योर x को किसी की जरूरत नहीं है. x is 0, y is 2. Oh yes, x 0, y 2. ठीक है. सो यू सी, x को किसी की जरूरत नहीं है. सो दैट इज वाई x इज योर इंडिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल. लेकिन y को किसकी जरूरत है? y को x की जरूरत है. देयरफॉर y इज अ dependent variable. Alright. So we were evaluating the regression function. So regression function would be two kinds. Either y will be a function of x. जैसे ऊपर वाली इक्वेशन लिखी है कि y को किसकी जरूरत है? x की. So y is a function of x. Another would be x would be your regression function would be x equals to f of y. Fine. Now, you have two kind of regression function. In the first equation, your y is a dependent variable, and in another equation, your x is a dependent variable. Fine. Now, I was asking, in curve fitting, which method we have studied? You remember? In curve fitting, which method we have studied? You have given your MST2, so अभी याद होगा. बोलो. Which method you have studied? Let's not waste time. It was the method of least square. Yes, Gagandeep, very good. It was method of least square. Method of least squares. अभी इसकी क्या जरूरत पड़ी? अभी तुमको बहुत अच्छे से बताया था उस वक्त विद ग्राफ आई गेस. से सपोज ये डाटा था हमारा. सो वी हैव टू रैंडम नंबर और पॉइंट. सो दिस इज व्हाट द मिनिमम डिस्टेंस. सो व्हाट वी आर एक्चुअली ट्राइंग टू डू इज वी आर फाइंडिंग द कर्व which is approximating the set of data such that the distance between the points can be expressed as this. Distance between first coordinate, second coordinate, and so on if we have n number of points. So we try to find a curve. Jitne coordinates hai, we will have a different kind of curves. Alright. So what we try to do, we try to find the minimum possible curve which is giving us a meaningful relation between the coordinates, between these two variables. So the minimum value of this distance which is giving us a meaningful curve. So minimum distance. So that is why this is called as least square. Least what? Least distance. और स्क्वायर क्यों है? बिकॉज यू नो डिस्टेंस का फॉर्मूला क्या होता है? अंडर रूट ए माइनस बी का होल स्क्वायर, सो ऑन टिल फॉर ईच कोऑर्डिनेट. यू नो दैट फॉर्मूला, पता है ना? अंडर रूट एक्स माइनस ए प्लस होल स्क्वायर प्लस सो ऑन. सो दिस इज द मिनिमम. दिस इज गोइंग टू गिव यू द बेस्ट, दैट ओनली इज द बेस्ट फिट कर्व. बेस्ट फिट कर्व. दिस इज कर्व. ओके, दिस बोर्ड तो खराब हो गया है. अर्लियर तो फिर भी कुछ लिखा जाता था. दिस इज बेस्ट फिट कर्व. ऑलराइट, सो व्हाई वी यूज दिस? बिकॉज इट हेल्प अस टू मिनिमाइज द एरर. इट हेल्प्स टू मिनिमाइज द एरर. मिनिमाइज. ऑलराइट, चलो, दिस यू ऑलरेडी नो. यहां तक का we have just rearranged whatever you have studied so far. correlation पता चल गया तुमको, कर्व फिटिंग पता चल गया, मेथड ऑफ लीस्ट स्क्वायर तुमको पता है. अभी रिग्रेशन से कैसे रिलेटेड है? रिग्रेशन से कहां से रिलेट हो जाएगा? व्हेन यू हैव अ रिग्रेशन फंक्शन. तो रिग्रेशन फंक्शन विल बी ऑफ टू काइंड, y इक्वल्स टू fx या x इक्वल्स टू fy. ठीक है, अभी रिग्रेशन फंक्शन है. से सपोज ये फर्स्ट वाला लेते हैं, that is y is equals to a plus bx, means your regression function is y is equals to fx. If you consider this curve, ठीक है, तो according to the least square method, if your curve is this, then next step would be what? We will have our normal equations, isn't it? तो अभी normal equation बनाओगे, then what we will have? तो first equation would be taking summation both sides. तो summation y is equals to na plus b summation x. Next would be what? Multiplying both the side with x. So summation xy equals to a summation x plus b summation x square. Fine. So we have these two normal equations. Now see, let me write. This is our equation. 1, 2 इधर ले लिया है. Let it be a. And this is my b. And this is our c. Fine. Now you see, these are your normal equations. If you want to find the value of coefficient small b, क्यों चाहिए? Because हम करते क्या है कर्व फिटिंग में? Whatever is given, we are trying to find the value of our constants a and b. यही करते हो? a भी निकालने की कोशिश करते हैं. तो a तो चलो ठीक है, इंडिपेंडेंट है. b क्या रिलेटेड है x वेरिएबल से? तो अगर हम b निकालते हैं तो we have a direct formula for this. How? This is written as n sigma xy into sigma x sigma y and sigma x square minus sigma x का whole square. Alright. Another formula we have, that is sigma x minus x bar into y minus y bar upon xy term का whole square. That is sigma x minus x bar का whole square. This is our formula for the coefficient b. When you will have the value of b, you can straight away put in your equation 1. Equation a, that is y is equals to a plus bx, then you will get the value of the another constant, that is a. Now you see, from our equation b, ये वाला क्या नजर आ रहा है? This is summation y is equals to na plus b summation x. अगर you divide this whole equation with n, तो क्या आ जाएगा? You see, इसको divide करो, तो what we will have? Where should I write? Let me write here only. Summation y upon n. Fine. यहाँ से will be left with a only plus. Now this would be what? b summation x by n. Now you tell me what is this? What is this? Summation y by n equals to a plus b summation x by n. What is this? Everyone? कैसे राज? y कैसे आया? Y is equals to a plus b star. Yes, yes, Ankit. Very good, very good. This is nothing else but mean of y. Y bar is equals to a plus bx bar, isn't it? So let it be mine another equation D. Now, if I subtract equation number A and equation number D, what are you going to have? Tell me. Subtract equation number A with equation number D. What you are going to have? We will have, I'm writing here, okay. Yes, y minus y bar equals to b as it is, x minus x bar. Alright. So this is known as regression line. This is the formula for the regression line. तो अभी तुम्हारे पास क्या था? Regression function था. This is your regression function. Regression function. Try to understand my writing, okay? इससे ज़्यादा अच्छा नहीं लिख सकते हम on this board. Now this is regression function. Y is equals to fx के लिए we have done. So ultimately we are getting a regression line. This is what? This is your regression line. So similarly, you do yourself for the regression function x equals to fi. अभी नहीं, बाद में करना. Alright, इसको करके देखना. Then you will have another regression line which would be your x minus x bar equals to b y minus y bar. Alright, इसको करके देखना. Now you see, अभी ये दोनों b है. ये दोनों b कैसे हो सकता है? These b's are different. I am writing here. Your regression line first के लिए your b is known as regression coefficient. This b is known as regression coefficient. Alright. Now this regression coefficient is represented as byx. Why? Because this is a regression function of y on x. This is a regression line y on x. Therefore, your regression coefficient would be b y on x. Alright? इसको याद रखना कि कौन सा टर्म किसके साथ यूज होता है. इसी में कंफ्यूजन होता है, क्वेश्चन गलत हो जाएगा. Otherwise, calculation is very easy. Now, this is known as regression coefficient of x on y. तो लिखोगे कैसे? b of x y. तो regression line y on x का formula would be y minus y bar b by x minus x bar. Regression line x on y would be x minus x bar equals to b x y minus y bar. It's clear till here? Another. Now, how you are going to evaluate your regression coefficient? Regression coefficients. तो अभी फॉर्मूला लिखा था पीछे वाली स्लाइड में, इस वाली में नहीं, पिछले वाले स्लाइड में. Regression coefficient. Say suppose we are evaluating for byx. That is line y on x. What happened? regression coefficient. This is b y x. So our formula is sigma x minus x bar y minus y bar. y के लिए है तो ऑलवेज रिमेंबर डिनोमिनेटर में x आएगा, कंफ्यूज मत होना, ठीक है। y ऑन x के लिए कर रहे हो तो डिनोमिनेटर x वाला है, x और y के लिए कर रहे हो तो डिनोमिनेटर में विल बी y। ये याद रखने के लिए है, मैथमेटिकल डेरिवेशन यू डोंट रिक्वायर, ये वहां से आया। ऑलराइट, सो रिग्रेशन लाइन, रिग्रेशन कोफिशिएंट फॉर y ऑन x, दिस वुड बी दिस, ठीक है। सिमिलरली dxy, I will not do this one, ठीक है, क्योंकि सेम चीज ही है, ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड योरसेल्फ और उसको खुद कर लेना। आई एम जस्ट राइटिंग फॉर योर कन्वीनियंस। y माइनस y बार होल अपॉन, दिस इज x वाला है तो दिस वुड बी फॉर y माइनस y बार का होल स्क्वायर, फाइन। नाउ you see, if I do one thing to this formula, say suppose I am dividing numerator whole with n and in the denominator I divide this with n, then can you tell me what is this? Can you tell me? If I modify previous formula in this form, then now it has changed into what? Anyone? Can you tell me? We have already studied this. No one? Chalo, let's not waste time. This says your numerator is nothing. Very good, Ankit. Yes, yes, yes. Your numerator is covariance. Yes, yes, very good, Ankit. This is, your numerator is nothing else but your covariance. And denominator is? Your denominator is your variance. किसका? X की term में है तो it is variance X. And how it is written? Covariance को ऐसे ही रहने देते हैं, covariance XY, और denominator variance को भी represent with sigma square. X के लिए है तो this is sigma X का square, ठीक है। अभी ये square है तो अगर तुम इसको break कर दो, this could be written as numerator as it is covariance XY, denominator को we can write as sigma X into sigma X. कुछ नहीं किया, we have just rearranged. अभी क्या कर दें? Let's multiply and divide with sigma Y. कोई फर्क पड़ेगा? नहीं पड़ेगा. Now let's rearrange. If I rearrange this as covariance, this remains the same. And now I have sigma X, sigma Y, और बाकी जो रह गया उसको अलग कर दो. Numerator as it is, that is sigma Y, बचा क्या इधर? एक X रह गया. Now you tell me what is this? Very good, Ankit. Very good. This is what? Covariance upon sigma X into sigma Y is nothing else but your correlation. And we denote correlation with R or rho. So we are having correlation sigma Y upon sigma X. Or you can denote as rho sigma Y upon sigma X. Implies what? Ki when you have your curve y on x, that is your regression line y on x, then your regression coefficient y on x, that is b by x, would be what? Correlation. Same formula. This would be sigma y upon sigma x. Similarly, regression coefficient for the regression line x on y would be This would be correlation as it is. बाकी करके देख लेना. This would be sigma x upon sigma y. Fine. It's clear till here, everyone. So this is the relation. This is written as correlation into standard deviation. ये x के लिए है तो standard deviation x, standard deviation y. Fine. तो अगर पूछा जाए what is the relation of regression coefficient, तो regression coefficient का relation with correlation and standard deviation is कि it is the product of correlation and standard deviation of x with y. Now simple way में how you are going to evaluate, तो basically तुमको चाहिए क्या, रिग्रेशन कोफिशिएंट की वैल्यू निकाल लेंगे और एवरेज निकाल लोगे x का भी y का भी. तो डायरेक्टली फॉर्मूले में यू हैव टू पुट y माइनस y बार इक्वल्स टू रिग्रेशन कोफिशिएंट इनटू x माइनस x बार. और रिग्रेशन कोफिशिएंट कैसे निकालना है, उसके लिए यू हैव दिस फॉर्मूला. अभी इसको और ब्रेक कर सकते हैं, सिंप्लीफाई कैसे. वी हैव फर्स्ट फॉर्मूला इफ योर x y आर स्मॉल, इफ योर x एंड y आर स्मॉल, स्मॉल वैल्यूज मतलब एक्स वाई की टर्म में है, मतलब 1 डिजिट वाला टर्म, तो यू आर गोइंग टू, आई एम राइटिंग फॉर बी वाई एक्स. ठीक है, आई एम राइटिंग फॉर इस वाले फॉर्म के लिए. अकॉर्डिंगली यू कैन चेंज फॉर एक्स वाई के लिए. तो बी वाई एक्स वुड बी योर समीशन एक्स वाई, समीशन है ऑलराइट, और ये वाई है माइनस 1 बाय एन सिग्मा एक्स, सिग्मा दैट इज समीशन एक्स समीशन वाई होल अपॉन समीशन एक्स स्क्वायर, क्योंकि नीचे x आएगा तो दिस वुड बी समीशन एक्स स्क्वायर माइनस समीशन एक्स का होल स्क्वायर बाय n. एंड अनदर फॉर्मूला वुड बी जो पहले लिखा था लेफ्ट साइड में टॉप में, दैट इज x माइनस एक्स बार. ये कब है, जब 2 डिजिट वाली टर्म्स आए. सिग्मा x माइनस एक्स बार का होल स्क्वायर. अनदर अज्यूम मीन वाला, दैट इज सिग्मा uv जब ग्रेटर डिजिट्स 2 या 3 वाली फॉर्म में. अभी 2 में सपोज 1 है, 11 है, 10 है, 12 है, तो इट स्टिल इट कैन बी मैनेज. लेकिन अगर 2 वाली डिजिट 75, 95, अब इनका प्रोडक्ट है तो इट विल टर्न अप इनटू 4 डिजिट इनटू लार्ज डिजिट्स. तो बेटर है कि वी ट्राई अकॉर्डिंगली. यू हैव टू चूज योर फॉर्मूला. इट इज जस्ट गोइंग टू सेव योर टाइम एंड योर कंप्यूटेशनल एरर. समीशन u स्क्वायर माइनस 1 बाय n समीशन u का स्क्वायर, दिस इज u. ओके, और एक्स वाई वाले में नीचे v आएगा. एंड योर u एंड v you already know. u is x minus assume mean and v is y minus assume mean. ठीक है, so you have these 3 formulas. तो ये 1 डिजिट के लिए it's for 2 digit and assume mean for 3 digit and so on. Accordingly you can derive the formulas for bxy. It's clear till here, everyone? It's clear? All right, so you tell them. We are left with 2 minutes. We have how many properties? I guess we have 5 properties. No, 7 properties. Let me do first. Let me start first. Your first property, that is your bxy, that is regression coefficient of x on y and regression coefficient y on x, and your correlation, that is rho x comma y are always of same sign, are of same sign. Alright. So it will ऐसा कभी भी नहीं होगा कि इनकी साइन कंट्राडिक्ट करें. Alright. That is your byx is nothing else. I'm writing in short covariance upon variance x. Bxy covariance upon variance y. And your variance would always be positive. Your variance x and variance y would always be positive. Just remember this. Are always positive. I guess time is up. It's 45. I have another class. We'll continue in the next class. Alright. I guess on Wednesday we'll have another class. So you can leave the session. I have another class.